The next one, the next dragon. Your schedule. Everybody's got to be able to. I suggest in this school that we have classes at 5 and 7 for all color belts. And when there's 40 people, you come to the next. And you schedule it and you keep track of it. If I got a bunch of black belts, I might, depending on my number of black belts, times 2, 1 or 2 class of black belts. But I don't want to teach. In a perfect world, I'd teach Monday through Thursday, 2 to 4 classes in $1 million school. In 1,800 square feet. In a perfect world where I do what I'm going to tell you tomorrow, which is tomorrow is all about numbers. And some of everything you've heard is right for their situation. But when you go to open that next unit, please consider doing something different for the sake of your instructor. Because how many of you, when you were running your school, missed your child's baseball game, your daughter's dance recital? Somebody had to be at the school and you couldn't because you had to teach the classes when you first started. Anybody ever miss any important days? Nobody ever missed any important days?
Yes.
I think you're full. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. There's no reason for that. It doesn't take that much instruction. It takes a thought out. If I control the price, if I control the number of classes, I can get people to teach based on I have a lot of black belts. And you really don't. I've been in a lot of schools. They don't have 50% black belts. Somebody said 30%. They don't even have that unless they're teaching. If you got 30% of your student body's black belts, congratulations. It's not 50, but congratulations. So write down, not over me, how many students you have, how many black belts do you have. Write it down. Not going to show me, you're not going to tell anybody. Just write it down just for the sake of doing something somebody told you. Write it down. If you can't follow directions, imagine how your staff is. Just write it down. I got 200 students, I got 100 of them are black belts. I got 200 color belts, 200 black belts. Now you're on the verge of doubling what I'm talking about. Okay? How many of you would like to enroll whatever number it took to do $1 million in 1,800 square feet with 12 to 14 classes a week? Show up tomorrow because you've got pieces of it from everybody here because everybody here was really, really good. Everything from not losing $250,000, but everybody in here who's expanded has lost money, a lot of money. Okay? But if you'll get rid of that peer pressure from dead people, you'll have a real, real chance of changing your life. More importantly, your instructors' lives. Because they really don't want to work 60 hours a week to make $40,000. Well, they got to work. One of my friends said, no, they got to work. They got to work 12-hour days. Why? Why do they need 8-hour days? Why do they need 60 hours a week? Why do they need even 40? You know right now, the millennials, what do they want to work? They want to teach class from their home, right? Well, you only got to come in 12 hours. You might get a better instructor. And if you were doing $1 million, what could you afford to pay somebody to teach 12 classes? Enough that they could never quit. Enough that they could never quit. And they'd be thrilled to death to show up. Enough that they could never quit you because they can't get that kind of job. So right now, what do you think the highest paying job out there in America is? Just hourly wage. What do you think? Is it doctors, nurses? What do nurses make? $50, $60 an hour? What do they make? Do you know? Huh? Lawyers? What do you think? My guy charged me $375. He charges me for his rate even when the damn girl does it. No? What could you pay him if you had $1 million revenue for these 12 hours? Would you pay them just enough that they... Hello. No problem. I'm almost through. Just give me a second. Okay. I know, and I felt it right here. It's all falling. So, in the last two, tell me the sacred cave. Or at least contemplate. Or at least in your next life, when you're reborn, come back and do.
Absolutely.
Let's imagine this. You open in your first school, and the guy that teaches says, you need to work 12 hours a week teaching, and another 4 or 5 hours a week signing people up. And you can make a couple $100,000. How about that? Compared to however you were hired. Because we didn't know any better. But now we do. It's kind of like cryptocurrency. You've been warned enough. Right? You've been warned enough. Yeah. And the last thing is the curriculum. I've got to understand that there's no value in stacking this form on top of this form on top of this form, and you got to learn your round kick before you learn your side kick. There's no value in any of that. Our average student is between 6 and 14 years old. Honest to goodness truth. unless you're in an MMA school and that's the average student. What rank do I need to teach a 6-year-old white belt? Do I have to be a 9th degree? Do I have to be 77 years old? Probably not, right? And how much curriculum do I have to know your whole big-ass curriculum? Or do I just need to know what I'm teaching today? Some of you are waiting until somebody knows everything about everything before they can teach this 1-hour block. Doesn't make sense to me. You've got to know this month's curriculum. That's it. Probably take you a weekend, 4 hours on the weekend. Okay? I wish you would consider making some changes. I have a free training site that you can go to. Unfortunately, if you don't want to hire an agency, it'll teach you how to run your own ads. And then when you do that for a while, you decide to hire an agency. But it's pretty easy, okay? So if you want a free one. So what I do is I carry my cards with me like this. I don't know you, so I'm going to give you one. So, and if you'll call this number and tell them you have this card, and the next training we have will be free as long as you bring somebody with you. It'll be free. Okay, thank you. That's a real tricky card right there, right? It's also a blade, and you can defend yourself with it and get on a plane. Okay, so that's it. And that's all I do for recruiting. I do Facebook, but I hand out my card everywhere I go. If I go to a restaurant, they get my card. If there's somebody sitting next to me, get my card. At Starbucks, my elevator in my house, they get told about martial arts. I wear my colors everywhere. I don't dress like a civilian. Ever, ever, ever. Why? You think there's a time when you're not a martial arts instructor? There is no time when you commit any kind of crime or make a mistake that they won't go, that karate instructor did this. So you might as well own it. And it may make you pay attention. I don't go anywhere without wearing my black belt ring. It reminds me I got to train every damn day. And without wearing my wedding ring, it reminds me who's in boss. Okay. So I have to wear something to remind you. You need to wear your colors. You need to have your cards with you. So does all your staff. Our business is easy. We make it hard. It's not hard. It's easy. We make it hard. I'd say love it. I think today's the day that makes all the difference as long as you make a difference. And Master Reed, I want you to live long and prosper. For the rest of you, same thing. I'm going to get out of here. I'm not going to Coconuts. You are. You know why I'm not going? I've been there before. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Hope they got something.